Meet meet. Welcome back, guys. And today we're going to do a fun little experiment, and this stemmed from a question that someone sent me on Discord that said, is this game F2P friendly, or is it impossible to compete with the whales? Now, the short answer is it's possible to compete with the whales while being F2P. It'll just take a long time. But this gave me an idea because, the main difference between whales and F2P are obviously the packs, right? So I thought, why not calculate exactly how big of an advantage the whales actually have? Now, everyone thinks of whales and they're like, oh, they're broken because, they have infinite bookmarks and heroes, blah, blah, blah. But really the thing that they have more of than everyone else is energy. Energy is the most important resource. When you're in the end game, the difference is the gear. And, there are those crappy equipment packs, but they suck. And really, the best way to get gear is to grind hunts nonstop. That's what all the top players do. They have 1 minute hunt teams. They're just doing it all freaking day. And to do that, you need energy. So, I wanted to calculate how much more energy does a whale have compared to F2P players, mini dolphins, medium dolphins, and then of course the whales. So first, let's talk about how much energy does an F2P player actually have to work with. So energy, it recharges naturally at 5 per minute, so that's 288 energy per day. Then you should always be doing this if you buy 40 energy from the friendship tokens and 120 energy from the conquest points. That's another 160 energy per day. Typically, you get another about 100 energy per day from the GM for free. And then you also have the banner events that are always ongoing. And we'll just assume that they add about 200 energy per day. And they also have guild energies. We'll just pretend you're not in a guild and ignore those, but that would be another 50 to 80 energy a day. So for now, let's say it's approximately 750 energy per day for an F2P player, or a 30-day month. We'll just say 22,440 energy per month for an F2P player. Should be close enough. So, conclusion, F2P player, $0 spent. They get about 22,000 energy a month. Now let's talk about a fish. This was what I was for a really long time. A fish is going to be a player that doesn't buy any pack except these two monthlies for $15 a month. And I think it's structured like this because Smilegate realized that a lot of early MMO players were paying $15 a month anyway. So they were probably trying to attract those gamers. Like I used to pay $15 a month for WoW. So how much of an advantage do you get if you buy these? Well, if you look at these two packs, the monthly one gives 200 Skystone. And for calculating energy, basically you just multiply the Skystones by 2. So for 30 days, you get 1,100 Skystone, so this is about 2,200 energy. And for this one, you get 2,100 energy just from the energy alone, and then 800 energy from the Skystones. So you add that all up, and basically if you buy both monthlies, you get 5,500 energy per month extra. So compared to an F2P player, a fish would spend $15 a month, and they would end up with about 28,000 energy. So essentially for $15 a month, you have about 25% more energy than an F2P player. So you could argue in a way in terms of gear, 25% more progression. Now let's talk about a dolphin. This guy is going to be like a pretty serious spender. So we'll just assume that he doesn't buy anything else except the monthly packs, but he's cleaning out the $30 leaf pack every month. And this is going to be pretty hefty. So this medium dolphin is going to be spending over $150 a month, right? But from these leaf packs, you get 22 leaves times 5 and 450 sky stones times 5. So 4,500 energy from Sky Stones, and 8,800 energy from the Leafs, so a total of 13,000 extra energy. So to summarize the medium dolphin, this guy would have about 41,000 energy per month for $165, so he would have 83% more energy than an F2P player, but that's pretty hefty, right? $165 a month. I mean, I guess it's not like a fortune, but still, it's getting to be a pretty serious sum of money to just play a gacha game. But they're still under twice the advantage of an F2P player. So I guess what I'm trying to say is if you spend almost $200 a month, you won't progress even twice as fast as an F2P player. So honestly, you're not getting a huge advantage. I mean, 83% is pretty big, but it's not like insurmountable. Now let's talk about a hypothetical omega whale, a true whale who just doesn't give a crap and was willing to dump as much money into this game as possible. And there are very few, I know a few YouTubers are like this, but I don't personally know anyone who would ever be willing to do this. This is nuts. But I didn't want to add up every single pack, and I didn't know what the Sky Stones were for some of those like weekly packs, like the equipment and artifact packs, whatever they are. So let's just assume that this hypothetical omega whale is buying all 10 of these monthly summon pack 2s, and the entire Mystic shop, they're clearing it out. Like, this would be ludicrous if someone actually did this. But if you bought 10 monthly summon packs 2s, you would get 30,000 Sky Stones, which is 60,000 energy. And if you bought out all these Mystic packs, in terms of Sky Stones, you would end up with, I believe, 13,680 energy if you add all these Sky Stones together and multiply by 2. So essentially, they get 73,680 more energy. So if you add that to the dolphin, I think it amounts to about 115,000 energy per month. So the omega whale will have over 500% more energy than an F2P player, which sounds like a lot, right? And it is a lot. That's 5 times more energy than an F2P player. But the big but is that to get that advantage, you are literally spending over $1,700 a month on Epic 7. So, if you're a multimillionaire, do whatever you want. But if you are a normal person, that is not financially healthy. You need to go talk to someone and get some help. Because, unless you're like an Arabian prince and you really don't give a crap, you should not be spending almost $2,000 a month on this video game. But I think the point I'm trying to say is, to go back to my original question, is it insurmountable for an F2P player to compete with whales? I mean, I don't think so, because I don't think there's a whole lot of people in this game spending $2,000 per month. Maybe there are. I don't have any proof or anything, but I don't think so. I'm assuming that's a very small handful of people, and I know for a fact that there are F2P players at the top, and I know there are plenty of dolphins at the top. So, just to recap, F2P player gets about 22,000 energy a month. A fish has 24% more energy with about 28,000 energy a month, and they only have to spend $15 a month, which is no big deal. Once you get into dolphin territory, you have to spend over $150 a month, but you have over 40,000 energy, so you have an 80% advantage over an F2P player. So the people spending close to $200 a month don't even have twice the amount of energy than an F2P player. Then you go to the omega whales, and these guys have a huge advantage. They have 5 times more energy than an F2P player, but again, only if you're spending $1,700 a month. And if you watched my opinion on Smilegate video, I said that I always considered this game F2P friendly because in general, these pack values are not good. Remember, I mentioned that the more valuable the packs are to the player in terms of like cheapness, the less F2P friendly the game becomes, because it's possible to get huge advantages at minimal cost. Like, let's pretend that this thing only costs $10, right? So for $100, I would have a huge advantage over any F2P player. But to get that advantage, I would have to spend $1,000 in Epic 7, and there's no way many rational people will do that. They'll be like, that's freaking nuts. I'm not spending that kind of money on a video game. And there's always going to be like gambling degenerates and stuff, but for the most part, people won't do that. So I hope some of you guys found that interesting to kind of put into numbers how much of an advantage whales have. I want to say that the vast majority of players, like more than 99%, are going to fall into the either F2P, fish, or moderate dolphin territory. I'm sure there's like a 0.1% that would go into this omega whale category I described. It's going to be a very, very small subset of players. So for the most part, you can assume that the spenders, the medium dolphins, have less than a 2 times advantage over an F2P player in terms of energy. About 80% to be more specific. And honestly, that's not bad. For someone spending close to $200 a month to have less than twice the advantage, I think that makes the game pretty F2P friendly overall. The Omega Whales obviously have a ludicrous advantage, but hey, if they're single-handedly paying someone's salary over in Korea and they have the money, I mean, do whatever the hell you want. I guess if you're a billionaire, $1,000 a month still doesn't mean anything. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this short little video. I hope that gave some of you F2P players out there a better sense of how you stack up against these whales, and maybe that made you feel a little better about your chances. If you have any questions, if I screwed up any of the math, I was just kind of doing napkin math real quick. I didn't think I needed to be that specific. Feel free to leave it in the comments section below if you want to get really exact about it. But I think these numbers are going to be at least like 90% accurate for the most part. So anyways, till next time, feel free to discuss, and I hope you enjoyed this. Till later.